throws for the end zone. Touchdown, Parker. Picked off by Damien Dease. Tagovailoa trying to make up for it. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! That's hard work.
What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and right now I'm joined by the god of the mod squad, rHinosYth, and of course, I would say the second mod in charge, Damien. What's
Fins
good, boys?
up.
How you doing tonight?
All good, man. Fins up, man.
Happy almost Valentine's Day.
I know, eh? And I'm ready for all the smoke. I'm ready for all the smoke that comes with my pink thumbnail today, bro. So I'm ready. I got like a Cameron vibe going tonight. So, guys, the theme of the show tonight is I want to hear your biggest heartbreak as a Miami Dolphins fan. I'm going to be dropping the link a little bit below. Ball Game is going to be joining us at one point. EM is also going to be joining us at some point. He's got guests over right now, so he'll be sneaking away to join us at some point. A Powerhouse will be rolling through at some point. He had something come up last minute. So yeah, we're out here, guys. And we're gonna do a few. I want to cover two things before we get into everything. And if you haven't checked out the interview with Chrissy Freud from yesterday, go check it out. She was absolutely amazing. Really good stuff. What up, Darth Vader? I hope everything's well, buddy. So we're going to go over a few things today because as a legendary Ace Ventura once said, man, I'm tired of being right. All right. So we're going to get into that in about 2 minutes. Just give some people some time to flood. And I got to say this, and they know who they are. All of y'all cats that are 120, 140 pounds out there talking greasy. Yo, we're going to find out what time it is when I'm down in South Florida, baby. Oh, boy, are we ever. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. Whether you're the Puerto Rican retard or whether you're the not-so-great one. Oh, boy. Batman to Bane, baby. Y'all are going to get broken in half right over my knee, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. And fair warning, if y'all back down, that's going all over the internet, baby. Woo! And once I'm through with you, we're just going to delete that shit. You know, but everyone there is going to know what time it is, baby. And the legends will be told, and the folk songs will be sung in my fucking name. So I can't wait for that shit. All right? You know what's good. Yeah.
Put the women and children to bed.
Oh, baby, I love it. Oh, I cannot wait. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Oh, man. And shout out to everyone already showing up. What up, Rip Tupac? How you doing, homie? Choo Choo already knows what time it is. It is what it is. Hey, Florida born, Kentucky grown.
I love that name.
You know,
it's awesome.
I love that.
I can't get onto the screwed us part because I'm currently in contact with Ricky's people. I'm trying to work on getting him on the show. So yeah, I'm not going to touch that one, brother. That's all you. I personally love the man. So I loved Ricky, man. I loved him so much. I just wish we would have had more time. Mm-hmm. It sounds like a relationship, but I mean, it is what it is, you know? So a huge Ricky Williams fan. All right, let's get into this though. All right, guys, you're going to need to turn up your volume for this first clip, but shout out to Simon Clancy. Before he started here, we've been going back and forth in the DMs for about a half hour, just discussing Penei Sewell and what he was talking about. So I'm going to play a clip for you guys. Turn up your volume as high as you can. If you have earphones, I recommend it. I'll tell y'all what he says at the end of it. I'll reiterate. But let's bring that up right now because I think this is key. Because this starts off with reasons, man, I'm tired of being right segment. So let's hit this right now, guys. So if you guys don't listen to 3 Yards Per Carry, you should. It's a phenomenal podcast. And they just did their season finale. And I'm just gonna mute you, Dame, because you have just for the clip because you have a lot of background noise. So, guys, it's 22 seconds long. Let's get into it. Let's see what Simon had to say. And again, turn everything up that you can to full volume right now, guys. All right. So let's play this.
Let me tell you something that's fact, though. I know it's fact because I've had the conversation with a person that will be a fairly important factor in the decision about what happens at 3. That significant table banging will be done for Penei Sewell, and I'll just leave it at that.
So there you go, guys.
Let me tell you something that's fact, though.
Simon just said it's fact. He's talked to someone that is involved with the Dolphins brass and the number 3, and is gonna, I mean, you could probably kind of narrow that down. Reggie McKenzie, Marvin Allen, hey, Chris Greer for all we know, Brian Flores, and basically what he said there, if it was too low for you guys to hear, is that significant table banging will be done for Penei Sewell at number 3. Okay, that is a big thing you can take to the bank. And if you don't know who Simon Clancy is from 3 yards per carry, next to Locked On Dolphins when Travis was there, those are 2 of the best and most informative podcasts out there. And Simon Clancy, he's locked right in. He does great work. They're part of 5 Reasons Sports. Houts is over there, et cetera. So, guys, if that tells you that Penei Sewell is right now looking like the move at number 3. So, I mean, Rhino, Damien, let's hear your thoughts on what was just said right there.
I've been around Simon for about 20 years. I've known of him, been around him in the community, on the Dolphin community. The guy's more right than wrong. He's very well connected. That's why people are listening to what he's saying and what he says, just so everyone understands that. And, he's a common sense guy. It just makes complete and total sense. Where the team is, he sees the talent. He sees what we have, what we need. So it makes sense on many fronts to me.
I'm happy about this news. With the young quarterback, we're building it the right way. I hope whoever this is banging on the table. First of all, I hope it's Tua that's banging on the table, and I just hope that whoever this person is, this lobbying for Penei Sewell, that person gets his way, because as much as I love the Slim Reaper and I love that kid, I want that cornerstone to set the offensive line. I want that guy who's going to be with Tua his whole career, and that's the most important thing to this offense clicking and us holding that Lombardi trophy, is having that solid anchor on that line to protect our quarterback for the next 10, 15 years. So I'm super happy. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah, I mean, I've shown the clips and shout out to Florida-born, Kentucky-grown, man. I love Penei Sewell, but man, I truly feel like Smith and Tua, Montana and Rice. Yeah, but I mean, this is where I keep saying. I mean, and Irving says my most heartbreaking Dolphins moment was the 2000 Monday Night Football New York Jets comeback. This is what I kept saying. Why does everyone think it's out of the realm of possibility to move back up to 10? Like I keep telling people, if this is the draft, if you're ever going to be aggressive, this is the draft to do it in, when you add in the capital, and the players available. And am I the only one who's sick of letting the board settle? I mean, the board settled us for Austin Jackson. You know what I mean? The board settled, and they missed out on Cesar Ruiz, so they traded back, and we got Noah Igbenogany in the deal.
Yeah.
This is where I'm at. I'm done with letting if I was them, I'd be done with letting the boards, other
J.K.
teams.
Dobbins too, reason.
Exactly. I'd be done with letting the board dictate who I'm going to draft.
Great.
So, and I just don't understand why fans are in the mindset of trading back, but not in the mindset of trading up. It boggles me.
I'm totally with you, brother. I mean, we have to be aggressive. We finally got the quarterback. Let's get the tackle and let's go for broke. Let's go for broke. This is the time.
Agreed. All right, so let's get into a second piece because I hear in like this absolutely ridiculous 3-way trade NBA suggestion.
Oh God, Nick!
Like, what are these people smoking, bro? Like, put the meth pipe down. Good God!
They're either smoking or they're not smoking enough. One of the two.
Oh, Jesus! So let's get into this right now. And guys. You know, this is an article that Cameron Wolfe came out with earlier today. Quite informative. So he basically started off and he talked about how the chatter of Watson's probably not going to go away. But, I mean, here we go. Let's read this, okay? So, case for building around Tua. This trend of casting final judgments on quarterbacks after one season, or in Tagovailoa's case, 9 starts, is disappointing at best and foolish at worst. As veteran quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick told ESPN last week, the Dolphins drafted Tagovailoa in the top 5 last season because he has a rare skill set, and Miami believed he would be the QB to lead it to a championship. Significant offseason decisions behind the scenes have already been made with Tagovailoa in mind. What have I been telling everyone? Multiple people with the Dolphins organization tell ESPN. Decisions we're aware of include Charlie Fry's hiring as Dolphins quarterback coach, and the co-offensive coordinator promotion of George Godsey and Eric Studeville. The Dolphins have committed to Tagovailoa's long-term development. Miami staff believes many of Tagovailoa's rookie struggles are fixable with a full offseason with more reps, and the Dolphins are aiming to get more explosive playmakers around him and banking on good chemistry with Godsey and Studeville. I mean, you know, I don't even got to go further here. I mean, this is basically telling you, guys, they're building around Tua Tagovailoa. This is the move. And people are going to have to start accepting this.
I think some are. I think a lot of the people that were yelling for it have calmed down a little bit. There's just a few stragglers out there still, but they'll come around.
No, and here's the thing, man. I want these fools to keep that same energy when this kid balls out.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
You know? I mean, there's one guy out here who we all know is the biggest Tua hater, and he's the same idiot that told all y'all that Cam Newton would be the best quarterback in the AFC East last year. Last I checked, Tua as a rookie put up far better numbers.
And beat him.
The guy had 18 turnovers last year.
Yep.
And, yeah, you're right, and he beat him. So, I mean, are we that desperate for Dolphins talk that we have to listen to these retards?
Me, no, but them, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's unbelievable, man.
It is.
And they get this kind of stuff put right in their face, people who are connected to the organization, and they still come out here with their absolutely ridiculous little theories. Guys, I'm sick and tired of these low aptitude motherfuckers coming out here and talking. Like, it's just absolute nonsense. You know, and I get that some people out there want to give a platform to everyone, but at some point you got to start vetting the platform.
Got to put a stop to this ignorant talk.
Because, you know, ignorance and misinformation. Like I heard him say on that 3, book it. And I said to Rhino, why are you not taking that bet? Like, Jesus Christ, I'll take that bet all day. You want to put $250 down on that? Let's go.
I agree.
All right.
I'm just not a better, gambler at heart. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really taking a gamble with that bet. I'll tell you that much.
High risk of winning.
It doesn't get sure. The only gamble you're taking is if that guy's got the money to pay you.
That's right.
And I'm just getting sick of it, guys. Like, I'm already at my boiling point on Twitter with this stuff. Now we're going to boil over to YouTube with this? Like, come on. Like, Jesus Lord. What the hell is... Damien is like...
I just don't understand.
Are you in a meat market back there? It feels
no,
like,
my wife, we washing clothes. I'm in the man.
It feels like chickens' heads are being cut off.
That's the washer and the dryer in the other room because I'm in the basement. I'm sorry, guys.
Serge, the answer to your question is 3 comments above you from Kieran. All right. So, and I get what you're saying, Florida born and Kentucky grown, but you can still move up and get Devontae Smith. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't a foreign concept of trading up. And people just need to get out of the mindset of like, oh, they're only going to trade back or stay steady. I don't think so, man. I think this is going to be an aggressive draft for the Miami Dolphins. I really do.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, that should dead anything you guys want to say about whether they want to build around Tua or not. I mean, it's right in front of your face right now, guys. So,
and you said that was Mr. Wolfe, right? Cam Wolfe?
Yeah, that was Cameron Wolfe.
Yeah, and that's a reliable source, period. End of story.
Yeah. I mean, he had the interview with Brian Flores, where Brian Flores kept stressing that they want to continue to develop and grow Tua Tagovailoa, but apparently, I guess not enough people listened. So now he has to come back with something like this.
Right. And never mind, Greer said Tua is our quarterback. Straight up. I mean, it doesn't get any clearer than that. Tua is our quarterback. So,
yeah, unreal. All right, so let's get into our heartbreaking moments. And, we're going to do our 3. I'm going to drop then I'll drop the link for all of you guys to join in and give us your take on either what Simon said, or the Cam Wolfe article. But I also want to hear your guys' thoughts on what your biggest moment, heartbreaking moment as a Dolphin fan. So for me, I was torn. Between the AFC Championship loss to Jim Kelly, and shout out to Jazz803 with the $5 donation. We know what we want and what we need. We have the picks to trade up. Why can't we be aggressive and move up to PH? That's exactly where I'm at, man. All right. So, I was torn between that and then my final selection and the one that I went with. And a little backstory about the game I'm about to talk about. With the AFC Championship, I watched that with my dad, the loss, and it was tough. Whatever, it was tough. A shout out to Fins Up, $6.99 donation. Reason, love your shows, homie. I'll say you got me very educated with your takes, got me smarter, keep it 100. From the 6'2", homie, appreciate you, man.
Canadian.
Yeah, Fins fan. NTO, there you go. Like Drake said, man, I turned the 6 upside. It's a 9 now, baby. All right. So my whole thing with my biggest heartbreaking moment was the first game my stepfather ever sat down and watched with me and my mother. And that fateful day, January 15th, 2000. Oh man, like just at Altel Stadium in front of 75,173 people. Dan Marino's final game in the NFL. You can see it. That picture in my thumbnail right now with the bye Dan, that's from the game. And this is another reason why I hated Jimmy Johnson after this, because this was just unbelievable. Losing 62-7 in Dan Marino's final game, I was literally in tears at the end of that game, because not only did Mark Brunell light us up, if people remember, Jay Fiedler had a 70-yard pass to Jimmy Smith.
Beautiful pass. And
then he had another 38-yard pass to Alvis Whitted. And the backbreaker for me early on in the game was that 90-yard rush for a touchdown by Fred Taylor. And just to watch Dan Marino go out the way he did, he was 11 of 25 for 95 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He was sacked twice. He had a quarterback rating of 34.6. And then Damon Heward came in, 5 of 16, 46 yards. He was sacked 3 times, didn't throw a touchdown, didn't throw an interception, but he had a 40.6 QB rating for that game.
Normal for him.
It was just, Aronde Gatson, was our top receiver. OJ McDuffie was limited. The beast that was the fullback, Rob Conrad, didn't even have a great game. You know, it was just all across the board, not a good game. You know, especially when Aronde Gatson gets your lone touchdown on a 20-yard pass from Dan Marino in the second. It was just, you know, you talk about brutal. That was just so painful to watch.
Reason you forgot one thing.
What?
The sprinklers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was
Totally forgot
embarrassing.
about that.
Yeah.
It was just, you know, I don't know if a game hurt me more in my lifetime than that game. And I know we had tough losses, you know, further in the playoffs. But that one was just, I mean, that'll always stick with me. You know what I mean? And it's just to see the descent, you know, like a nosedive descent from the GOAT at one point was just, you know, I would have been totally fine if he would have lost and he would have went out. And I see you guys showing up in the back. Just give us a few minutes. We'll go through ours and then I'll bring you guys on. So just hold tight. So, you know, it was just, I mean, I don't know how many adjectives and pronouns I can use. You know what I mean? Like, it was just absolutely disastrous. And, you know, if he's going to go out, you would have loved to see, you know, a game where he throws 200 or 300 yards. It's a tight game. But getting shellacked by fucking Mark Brunell.
It was
good.
tough.
God, that was a tough one.
Oh.
So Rhino, let's go to you. Let's hear your biggest heartbreak as a Miami Dolphins fan.
The biggest one, not two, but the biggest one.
Yep.
The biggest ones are all the ones you're going to mention, but the one I zoned in on was 2016, and watching the Arizona game in Miami when Ryan Tannehill blew his knee out. And the reason I bring that up, it's not like my top, but I don't want to crush everyone else's stories. But I really felt that team with him, the way he was playing, I felt that we were going to make a lot of noise in the playoffs that year. And it was just kind of sad to see someone that was so bulletproof for 4.5 years, man. And he goes down and then it goes on to the next 2 years being injured, you know. It was kind of like the end of that Dolphins, you know, chance of winning. I really felt that, like I said, I really felt the guy, the way he was playing, the way the team was playing, what they were building. Even as Gase is our head coach, at that point, he still hadn't, you know, pooped the bed yet. I felt that was gonna be a good thing for us. And
you can go ahead and say your other one too.
Well, my main one is how I became a Miami Dolphins fan. I was 11 years old, 1981, about to be 12, and you know, of course, I knew who the Dolphins were. You know, perfect season living in Miami, but I'd never been to a game. And the first game I went to was to the hook and lateral game, the playoff game, and it's kind of like to go to one of the best games the Dolphins ever played as your first game. You know, how are you not going to be a Dolphins fan, right? But it was kind of like a view of how your Dolphins fandom is going to go. You get teased every year that you're going to win it, but you never do. Just like that game. I thought we were going to win that game 100%, and we end up losing in overtime. So that's my biggest one. That would be my biggest heartbreak was that game.
All right, Damien. Yeah, I know a lot of Dolphin fans. And guys, you're backstage. I just brought EM on because he, you know, I mean, the guy gets first pull. But
Yeah.
I will be bringing you guys on when the four of us are done here. So we got Damien and then EM, and then you guys backstage. I will be bringing you on. So just bear with me, like I said. All right, Damien, let's hear your biggest heartbreaking moment as a Miami Dolphin fan.
Well, I will say my number one was yours. I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
So I take that off, and it's two, because the emotional pain I felt from this, because I broke down and cried. I cried off the one Dan's last game, but these two I broke down and cried like a baby. The 95 divisional playoff round against San Diego, in San Diego, Jack Murphy Stadium. We're up by 2 touchdowns in the third quarter. Super Bowl was in Miami. Back then it was Joe Robbie. Everything was clicking and going good. We blew the lead. We still had a chance to pull it off. Bad snap. Stoyanovich missed the field goal. I cried like a baby. That team was special that year. Do I think San Francisco was the better team? Would probably beat us, yeah, but we would have gave them I believe we would have gave them a run for their money. And I was just that broke me down to tears. And my number one is Nick Saban. He set our franchise back 10 years at least. Horrible draft picks, horrible free agent decisions, and the outright lie after that regular season game, after our season ended against the Indianapolis Colts and we lost that game. Him getting up on that podium and said, I am not considering taking a job at Alabama. I am the coach of the Miami Dolphins, and the next damn day was on a plane to Tuscaloosa. I hate Nick Saban. I know hate is a strong word. I thank him for Tua, and I thank him for Raekwon Davis.
Yeah, okay.
You know, but I despise Nick Saban. To me, his name is Nick Satan, and I always would take away from anything he ever accomplished in college football. I'll say Urban Meyer's better than him. I despise him because he's a blatant liar. And he
let us know, Damien.
Set our franchise back, and I was pissed, and I will never forget that for Nick Saban. But Tua made me cheer for Alabama because I saw something great in him when he came in that Georgia game in the fourth quarter in the national title. But Nick Saban will always be Nick Satan to me. And Fins up.
Shout out to Fins up with the 279. He says most heartbreaking moment hiring Adam Gates.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to disagree with you that.
He wins.
Yeah.
Me too.
EM, let's get your
What's good, gentlemen? What's good, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Y'all?
What's up, brother?
What up, homie?
Chilling. Man, y'all all have man, it's gonna be tough to top you guys' heartbreaks, man. I tell you, but for me, to be perfectly completely transparent, obviously it's the Super Bowl loss. That's definitely, is 1A, and then the Ricky Williams retirement prematurely is 1B for me. That absolutely killed me because I was such a huge Ricky Williams fan. The year he came out of that draft, I prayed the Dolphins would find some way to try to get him, but that was obviously a pipe dream. But and then for us to get him in a trade, right? And he comes in his first year, and my God, he had a historic season, almost 1,900 yards. I mean, he was absolutely
back-to-back 200-yard games.
Absolutely. That year is one of the more special years from a running back I think I've ever seen in my life. So I believed in his talent. I felt like Ricky Williams, if he had longevity, if he would have just stayed off the weed just for a little while, Ricky Williams would have had longevity in the league, I feel. And he could have been a top 5 running back of all time. And based off his talent from a weight, speed perspective, I mean, man, Ricky Williams he was an anomaly. He was a glitch. He was a blip, on the radar screen in terms of talent at that position. And when he retired, was forced to retire prematurely because of his, I'm not judging him at all. Hey, you know what I'm saying? But at that time, in our country and in the league, they had stiff, drug penalties, and he just, he had that addiction, and it's what it is. But yeah, man, he just, if Ricky would have I felt like he was definitely on a Hall of Fame trajectory, and I felt our team overall, I felt we had the defense in place, the killer run game, the killer beastly offensive line at least from a run game standpoint. All we needed was a quarterback, and I just felt like we were just robbed. And that just completely broke my heart, completely. So I'm still a Ricky Williams fan. He's still, in terms of talent, he's still one of the 10 best running backs I've ever seen play the game. But oh man, I had such high hopes, especially from a Madden standpoint. My God, he was an absolute monster during them Madden days. So,
do you remember how he had that great season, and then the All-Star game? What he did in the All-Star game too?
Oh yeah.
That was crazy, bro.
Yeah. Ricky was special. Ricky was absolutely special. He, obviously we know the immense physicality, but also his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, I think was an underrated aspect of his game. And I just love the talent, man. Fell in love with the talent at Texas. Actually, him and Priest Holmes. You know, both of them were absolutely dominant once they got to the NFL. But at the end of the day, man, I'll never get over Ricky being forced to retirement prematurely, especially now. Now I see the league more lenient on those marijuana policies, and I'm like, damn it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it just makes me, it makes me cringe. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm still a Ricky fan. You know, I see him, I follow him, on social media or his post career, his business and endeavors or whatnot. I follow the person Ricky for the most part. Now that he's not in the league anymore. But yeah, man, that killed me, bro. I got to be honest, absolutely killed me. So
Vickens got a good one. Number 1 draft pick, we took Jake Long instead of Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
No, because I felt like Jake Long was on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Jake Long, if he hadn't got hurt, he would have wound up being the better player because that window we got from that small sample size we got from Jake Long was at the top of his game. He was at the top of his game. Matt Ryan has never been in any stretch of his career. We can say that definitively that he's been at the top. He's been the number 1 quarterback in the league. So
he won an MVP.
That wouldn't well, yeah, he got one day. Oh, very good player. I love Matt Ryan, but when Jake Long in his apex, they're not even close, in my opinion. That dude
I agree with you.
Dominant. So that's what it is, man.
The show says Marino tears Achilles in 93. That was a good roster. Devastating.
Yeah.
Esteban.
What's up, fellas?
Let's hear your biggest heartbreaking moment as a Dolphins fan, bro.
Well, I just because y'all hit on a lot of the ones that I would have hit on, but I think one of the most heartbreaking moments for me is you're a fan, man, and so you want to see all these guys win a chip. I think my heartbreaking moment was when the Patriots won, and Brewski was the backup, and all them guys trolled Zach Thomas with those rings, bro, and the fact that Thomas never got the championship, bro. To respond to that, to be honest, bro, that pisses me off, and I want to punch the wall right now just talking about it. But that broke my heart.
You know what?
I'm breaking my heart talking about it right now.
No one mentioned seeing Jason Taylor in a Jets uniform, or Zachy Boy in a Cowboys uniform.
Cowboys. I knew where you were going with that. Yep.
I never saw it. Zach.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, bro, that stuff is heartbreaking, bro. Like that. Those two guys, man. I wish the best for them, bro, and I wish they would have won something, bro. But that was the one that really got to me, man. That really
I think
bugged the shit out of me, bro.
When it comes to that defense and Ricky, let's call a spade. Jay Fiedler held them back. That guy would throw interceptions at the most inopportune times, and you'd be like, "What the hell, Jay?" You know what I mean? Like, let's call a spade, man. Jay held that team back.
Wasn't he? I believe he was the quarterback in all those damn. Those damn jet comebacks on Monday night when you go to school all tired the next day. We were probably all about the same age, man. You go to school like super tired, bro. Like staying up all night, man. And we had these big leads, and the Jets would come back on us, bro.
Because when Wannstedt would let them play the offense play, they played well. But then he'd go back in his damn turtle.
Yep.
But do y'all remember that when the Patriots won the Super Bowl and they trolled Jason Thomas with Zach Thomas
game in the snow in Foxborough.
Yeah, man. They trolled him with the damn Super Bowl rings, bro. I'll never forget that, bro. That pissed me off, man.
Well, for me, the reason why that wasn't as heartbreaking seeing Jason Taylor in the Jets uniform or Zach Thomas in a Cowboys uniform. I mean, they were past
in the Titans.
Well, they were even Cam Wake. They're way past their prime. You know what I mean? So Ricky, while it was so devastating, he was in his absolute apex at that point. I mean, he was the best running back in football, clearly, and definitely top 3. And for him to be forced to walk away from the game in the middle of his prime, bro, was just, that's devastating. You know what I mean? So it's what it is. Shout out to Ricky Williams if you're listening. Shout out to you. You still a top 3 Dolphin player for me. But
Oh,
you hurt
man,
me. You killed me, man. You killed me. You hurt
But
me.
One of the best to do it, man.
Remember the day when they announced the trade for Ricky? That was a good day, bro.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, absolutely, bro.
My chest was out, bro. My chest was out.
Hey, bro,
Oh, yeah.
Rhino. My chest was out on Thanksgiving Day in Dallas, bro. I went with my brother and I sat in the end zone, bro.
Oh, Angel one?
And the Cowboys had the best defense statistically that year, bro, and he ran all over them, bro. Chris Chambers had like 3 reception touchdowns. I got an autograph after the game, bro. It's the
Quincy
first day
Carter
that
was
they
quarterback.
broke out those Color Rush orange.
Yeah.
Bro, to see Ricky live, bro, it was unreal, bro.
Ricky was special. Ricky was special. He was special.
Truly. Shout out to Jazz 803 because this one did hurt me too. The Landry trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tech me out. I know you're in the background, but one of your devices is not connected, so that's why you're not available to come on right now. Todd, what's going on, buddy? What's your biggest heartbreaking moment as a Dolphin fan?
Man, it had to be Marino's last game in the playoffs against Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Knowing that was going to be the way he went out, it broke my heart.
To Mark Brunell and Jay Fiedler.
Yeah.
Unreal, bro. And the guy didn't even hit 100 yards. Right?
That was mine. Definitely mine.
And like we're out here, and Fred Taylor was a solid running back. But you would think he was the best running back in the league with how he gashed us that game.
I don't know, Regan. Solid. You might be doing Freddie a disservice there. Fred was nice too.
He was
Fred
good.
was nice too.
He was good, but I never had him in the conversation as the best running back in football.
No, but he was consistent. He was one of the more consistent.
The guy busts out a 90-yard run on us in like the first quarter, and it's over.
It's like everybody gave up. They were done.
Buddy, that game and the way Dan went out and the conflict that I knew was going behind the scenes is why I respect him, but I don't like Jimmy Johnson.
But what conflict? I don't know what you're talking about with that. Because I thought Jimmy was retiring.
Yeah, that was Jimmy's last game.
Yeah, but they had and Marino's one of the reasons why.
No, I thought he made his announcement.
No, Jimmy and Marino did not get along whatsoever.
They hated each other, man.
No, I understand that, but
I think Jimmy announced before Marino, right?
That's what I remember. That's what
No, I don't think that happened. I think Marino announced first, and I think Jimmy came out of left field.
Marino announced second because he was trying to go to Minnesota.
That's right.
And then we paid him extra.
I from what I remember, his wife talked him out of it. That's my understanding, Marino. She said you can't go play on another team.
We gave him extra money on the
and the owner too. Hyzinga, they had their
shout out to FSU, baby, with the $49.99 donation.
Damn, high roller.
Damn, you need to attach a message to him, my friend.
His message is, "You're the best, bro. Keep it up."
Yeah, just because.
High roller.
So, did you guys have a chance to listen to the clip I played from Simon Clancy?
I didn't, bro. I didn't.
Okay, so before I went live, me and Simon were talking in each other's. We were talking in the DMs for about a half hour, and I'm gonna play it right now. Okay, guys, I'm gonna mute Damien just because he has a little feedback there. Okay, you're gonna have to turn this up. If you have a headset, you're gonna have to turn this up. All right. And Willie, I see you back there. I'm gonna bring you on in a sec, buddy. Let me just play this. All right, so I'll play this one more time. It's a 22-second clip. It's from the season finale of 3 yards per carry. This is right from Simon Clancy's mouth, and I preface it with the Ace Ventura quote, "Man, I'm tired of being right." So let's go right now. He talks low, so you're going to have to listen closely. Full volume it if you can, all right? Here you go.
And he's English.
Yeah. So here we go.
Let me tell you something that's fact, though. I know as fact because I've had the conversation with a person that will be a fairly important factor in the decision about what happens at 3, that significant table banging will be done for Penei Sewell, and I'll just leave it at that.
You heard it, Ian?
Did you hear that?
Oh yeah. That's the
Okay.
one you sent me. Yeah, I heard that one. Yeah, you sent me that privately.
Okay, so when he says that someone close, I mean that's Greer, that's Flo, that's Marvin Allen, Reggie McKenzie.
Someone in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he says someone significant to the number 3 pick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and significant table banging will be done for Penei Sewell. What do you guys think about that?
I would hope multiple people are going to be banging that table.
That's the pick. That's the pick at 3 to make.
I mean, to be honest, he's not telling anything we didn't already know. You know what I mean? It don't take rocket science.
Well,
to
a lot of
figure it
people
out.
a lot of people were trying to push the Rashawn Slater narrative too, right?
Oh,
so that kind of deads that, is what I'm saying.
He was pushing back. He was pushing back.
Yeah. Well, again, it's good to know that I guess we're on the right track in terms of a lot of our evaluations.
Yep.
With players. Again, another year we're on the right track. So, yeah, you can't deny this kid's talent. His tape is what it is. He sat out a year. That might ding him in terms of the evaluation. Him being a year removed away from football. As far as from an evaluation standpoint, some people might ding him for that. But at the end of the day, man, the kid's tape is what it is. The immense physical talent is what it is. And he would be definitely a positional upgrade from an athletic standpoint for the Miami Dolphins if they opt to take him at 3. So, you didn't have to be, Albert Einstein to figure that out to put those pieces of the puzzle together. But at the end of the day, it's good to, the Dolphins are in a good position. At 3, they take a player like his talent, or again, if somebody offers them Jakeem Ransom for a trade down, that's a good option as well. So, yeah, the Dolphins are in the sweet spot of the draft yet again.
And I did have a conversation with Simon. We're talking about Penei. He projects him at left guard. Now, I don't agree with that fully. He projects him at left guard like Quentin Nelson. So I don't agree with that fully. We talked about Bateman. We talked about a couple of players and stuff. And I think he is right. He said to me, free agency is going to dictate a lot of what they're going to do in this draft. And that's pretty obvious, right?
Yep.
But here's the thing,
EM. Because of the whole Tunsil thing. When he came here.
Agreed. Mm-hmm. But you know where I'm at, guys? I don't see us giving 14 to 15 million to Taylor Moton and making him the top paid right tackle. And this might interest you guys. I was talking with a diehard Green Bay Packers fan. All right. And I'm projecting like 9 or 10 for Lindsley. Okay, currently they just made a big cut. Damien, I gotta just mute you for a sec, buddy. They made a big cut. They just dropped out someone. I forget who it was, but it's about 10 million. There's still 19 million over the cap. And from what he's hearing, Lindsley wants about 12.5 million because he made the first team All-Pro this year.
Ooh.
And he's the only first team All-Pro at any position from this year on the market.
He's 29, though, right, Reason?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And I've always said, I'm giving you max 3 years, bud.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Max.
Hey, but I'm giving him that 12 easily.
If you put a gun to my head, I would rather put 12 towards him than 15 towards Moton.
Agreed.
But that's hard, though. 12 million for a center? Oh, man.
That's a lot. I look at it like this. If it were me, and I'm considering the draft and free agency with this, I think if you're going to be aggressive in free agency, obviously, I've been saying that since day one. If you're going to be aggressive, the line should be the investment. That's where the dollars should be, the max dollars should be allocated to. So with that being said, if I'm going to be aggressive and spend 12 plus, I would rather rate that investment to, in terms of a tackle as opposed to a center. I like Michael Dieter's projection. If we all remember, I was the first one in this, especially in this community, out ahead of making that projection of Dieter to center.
Yes, sir.
I believe in Dieter's ability. I think the Dolphins, more importantly, the Dolphins believe in Dieter's ceiling in terms of projecting him to center. So if I'm going to be aggressive and I'm investing in $12+ million, I would rather go right tackle, and that way it frees you up your draft completely. It gives you maximum flexibility, in my opinion.
Your guys' other thoughts on the $12 million project? Well, we heard Todd's. Let's hear your guys' thoughts on the $12 million projection for All-Pro center.
Well, I believe what day was that? It was Wednesday. We talked backstage about that Lindsey thing. Remember? I said he was going to ask for a lot of money.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, being in that position, you know, being with Green Bay all his career, and 29 years old, All-Pro year. You know, he's supposed to get big money. I mean, he's supposed to shoot for that. I'm all about if we're going to go all out. And we're in that position at 3. I'm a gamble and take my chances on drafting Penei at 3, hoping he's there and just don't take him. I would rather go in on that and go all out on getting Aaron Jones or Leonard Fournette. And I'm also in the camp with you, Em. I am confident in Dieter. He showed me something. He showed that he built that core strength when he came in as guard. Or also, I mean, you can spend one of those second-round picks on the center. Me, I would stick with Dieter. And I would sign Karras back, and those would be my 2 guys. And I would shore up that right tackle. And I would go all out on Aaron Jones or Fournette, and maybe a receiver or Curtis Samuel. And then I would move up and, like Reason's been hinting at, and drafting one of those top 3 receivers. Worst case scenario, I'm stuck with Bateman, and that's my guy also. But I just can't give that 12 to Philip. If he was 26, that'd be different.
Yeah, Damien, let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
I'm not saying he's worth it, but if Flowers was paid $10 million a year, isn't Lindsey worth 12?
Well, I'll agree that we made a mistake with Flowers by doing that, and hopefully they've learned from that mistake on giving Eric Flowers $10 million.
I don't think they have. Because they overpaid for Byron. And you can make a case they overpaid for Van Noy also.
Yeah, but I will say this. But Byron, I will say this. I love X, but if it wasn't for Byron Jones, X wouldn't have those damn interceptions.
They didn't overpay for Byron Jones.
So what if they have a similar pitcher for the offensive line? What if the pitcher is getting that piece, which they may label as Lindsey? I don't know, guys. I have no idea. But in my mind, my thing is if they paid $10 million for Flowers, they might be willing to pay 12 or 13 for Lindsey.
Well, how much? Lindsey's age concerns me. Lindsey's age concerns me. 29. And you investing $12 million in? No, I'm sorry. I'm not going that route. I'm not doing that.
Now, Ian, with the tackle, I'd be more concerned about the age than I would a center. And plus Lindsey just had the year of. I'm not worried about that, but what I'm more concerned about is Tua being able to step up in that pocket, have a clean pocket to step up in, and be able to take and let the receivers that we have get open, because there's going to be no corner that's going to be able to cover long enough with Tua with a clean pocket and the way he is deadly accurate.
A lot of that collapse.
I'm sorry. If the biggest issue with Lindsey for me is the age. If he's younger, give me even 3 years younger, 2 years younger. Okay, I'll be more inclined to entertain that possibility. But 29 years old, I'm sorry, lineman. One thing you can project accurately is when linemen hit 30. Oh, that cliff is steep. So you're talking about he's going to cash in. He's going to want to cash in because, to my knowledge, this is only possible potential for a big payday, right? So, and again, I'm sorry, 29 years old, you talking about 12 million per? You're going to have to eat, if you give him a 4-year deal, 2 years, you're going to have to eat 2 years of that in terms of impact on your cap. So, I would rather make that investment in a younger player, an established player, maybe not necessarily Tyler Moton, but the Saints probably would not trade him. But again, my target in terms of right tackle would be Michael Dieter's Wisconsin teammate, Ramczyk from he's not a free agent. I realize that, but I'll be trying to pluck him off that New Orleans Saints roster. If it was
But now
me.
let me ask you this, EM. You're just worried about after year two. I'm not saying giving him a 4-year deal, but a 3-year deal with most of the guaranteed money in the first 2.
Well,
I'm good with that.
it just boils down to me. What it boils down to is his age, and I believe in Michael Dieter's upside. I truly do. So no.
See, I believe in Dieter to a point, but at the same time, I'm wondering why Karras stayed the center if he wasn't, after he went to guard and showed his strength, why didn't they move him over to center already?
Well, it's a lot. I mean, I'm sure he needed time. See, this is the reason why I'm high on Dieter more than Karras, more than entertaining this Lisbon route. It's because Dieter, he's that athletic piece that we need on that interior. He's the most. If you insert Dieter into it, Karras clearly is not that player.
Oh my God.
So I think Dieter may have been behind. There's a lot of things. Who knows goes into the evaluation process. It was just a lot of things. They were trying to figure out what type of scheme they wanted. You know what I mean? Whether they want to go power, whether they want to be a primary zone scheme. There were so many things in flux for with the Dolphins, especially early on.
And Gailey.
And Gailey as well. That's what contributed to, I think Brian Flores is familiar with Karras. He's like, okay, he has more experience at center, and he opted to go with him. But I think with another year development from Dieter last year and going in and transitioning into training camp this year, I think Dieter obviously is the better from an athletic standpoint. He's the better option, and I think the Dolphins, most importantly, they believe in his potential, his ceiling, and I just think $12 million for a 29-year-old player who's first-team All-Pro. He's a very good player. I would rather invest that in other areas. That's just me, though.
Give me Samuels. Give me Fournette. I'm happy.
Yeah, yes, sir. I don't know why. I've been seeing a lot of people on social media. They've been killing this Fournette idea. They were like, we don't want Fournette, and I'm
Did
like,
you hear
wow.
Did
Okay.
you hear what Fournette said yesterday?
No, what did he say?
This is the first year I had a real quarterback.
You ain't lying.
He ain't lying.
Yeah, you look back to Jacksonville. You look back to Jacksonville. It was all about him.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Fournette is the target, ladies and gentlemen. Fournette,
I'm down.
Fournette is the target.
He's not going to break the bank.
And
No,
Peterson
no.
Peterson wants to go to Tampa Bay, so they might, if he's a cheaper option, they might go with him instead, Adrian Peterson,
I hope
instead
so.
of Fournette.
Yeah, but time out. If Aaron might get 12, right? I mean,
12,
Fournette can
14.
he can ask for 11, 12. I mean,
But
is that
you know
overpaying
what?
for Fournette or no?
You know what? Fournette has a larger body of work than Aaron Jones.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
He's got multiple
get crazy.
1,000-yard seasons in his career.
Yeah, but you know what's going to kill him with the cap, and it's going to work in a team like our favor.
Uh-huh.
What have you done lately? And last year he
This
only
is
had
true.
150 carries, and he didn't break the 1,000-yard mark.
This
right?
is true. Yeah.
So I mean, and hey, I still think he can be a 1,200 guy. You just got to feed him the rock 250 times, right? Which I'm fine with.
But reason what he did show this year, what he showed in Tampa Bay this year was that he can flourish in that platoon role.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't a bell cow guy in Tampa Bay this year. So don't
you think EM we'd lean on him a little bit more than what Tampa did though?
Oh well, yeah, absolutely. You should. I mean, you should. I mean,
because here's another thing. There's not a lot of tread on those tires.
There's not.
Like Aaron Jones has more.
Yeah, he's 25 years old, right? And he fits the profile of what you need. This is that's what the Dolphins did. That big bruising power back. And again, he's a complete back. He does everything. No disrespect to Professor Clump on the show the other day, but I got to emphatically disagree with him about this guy is not a threat outside the backfield. I got to emphatically disagree with him on that.
Yeah,
so at the end of the day, Fournette is a complete back. He's a 3-down running back.
Yeah, but here,
can be dominant at times, in my opinion.
Here's the question. We all know that the Bucs have a lot of players that they have to bring back, and they only have so much to sign. Do you guys think he's actually going to hit the free agent market?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do.
Okay. So it's realistic.
I'm hoping.
No, but is it
Well,
hope
what-
or is it
yeah.
realistic?
Here's the
Yeah.
real question, EM. What's your cap on a guy like that in terms of paying him yearly?
I would go 10.
That's
10
what I
would
was
be my
gonna
limit.
Yeah.
How many years?
10 would be my limit.
Oh,
Three?
you can go. Yeah, you can go 3 or 4 because of his age,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's still young.
He'll be 31, 30 when he ends his that contract.
Perfect.
Mhm.
And I can
Is
get
it-
out of it by the time he's 29. Beautiful.
And again,
I'll be honest,
again-
man. I
and
like
again,
I like
if
him.
if you select him, again, reason, everybody, if you select him in free agency, that doesn't, impedes your draft strategy to some
we
degree
don't have
where
to
you
waste
don't.
an 18 pick. I don't have to use
No.
an 18 pick anymore
Yeah,
for
exactly.
a running
But
back.
Yeah.
but still, you can still, if you see value in the later rounds, you can still
Yep.
select a running back at that point.
Lots of
So-
running backs.
The only way I pass on Fournette is whoever I draft, he has to be a plug and play. That's the only way that I pass.
Problem
on
is
Fournette.
free agency is before that, right?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. If I feel like I can actually target that person in the draft, you know what I mean. So
Because honestly,
he's a damn
I'm
good
sticking
player.
with it, man. I'm making the declaration. Javonte Williams is my running back 1.
You're going
And I-
blind.
I'm
and I-
with you, bro.
And
I'm
if I
with
can
you.
get that guy at 36, that's way better value than taking a guy like Najee at 18, bro.
Reason his
Hey, but
his profile, his build, everything, his body type, man. He's Ricky Williams Jr., bro. He's Ricky Jr. That's what I call him.
And you know what?
He
You look at
remind-
Javonte and Leonard Fournette.
That's what I was about to say. They remind me of
fit-
each other.
Well, no, I was going to say this. They fit more of the profile they were trying to get out of Jordan Howard
Mhm.
than what Najee
Yep.
is. Najee's more of like, I keep telling people, like, is Aaron Jones Najee's ceiling? That's a damn good question if you go look at their playing style. Very, very similar, man.
I think Najee. The
And
difference
I do
between
agree with what you
Najee
said,
and
Esteban. I do see shades of Ricky when the guy runs.
Ricky
he loves
Jr.,
the
bro.
He loves the
I-
contact, bro. He lives for that shit.
yeah, that's what I was telling EM, bro. Like I've been telling EM since day one, long time ago, man. He's Ricky Jr. That's what I call him. But
Well, you should be
I
ashamed
mean-
of yourself for doing that. I don't put nobody in Ricky's category.
I
Nobody,
know,
don't
bro. I know.
disrespect that man like that. You
No,
need to be
well,
ashamed of
well,
yourself.
I tell you this though. So
At least he said Ricky
Hey.
Williams. At least he said Ricky Williams light.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
Ricky.
yeah.
You know?
Hey, and you
yeah.
gotta
I'm
you gotta
trolling,
take
I'm
into
trolling,
account. You got to take into account that this ain't the the 90s when he was playing running back at Texas, bro. This is a running back running for UNC, still the same coach, if I'm not mistaken, Mac Brown. So, but what I'm getting at is between him and Najee, man. Najee seems to be more of a he needs more in front of him. If you don't have, a set
No one
offensive
can really
line, I
argue.
just
No one
you
can
know what I
argue
mean.
that either.
Yeah, that's the way I see it. I'd love Najee though, but
Yeah, so do I. He's my two.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Here's what I can't get out of my head. They went hard after Bell this season. What would change for them not to go after him? I keep thinking in my head, if they went so hard to try and get him during the season,
because
why
he was
wouldn't they
all that
try?
was available at that point in the season.
Okay, but they were willing to
And
give
no,
stuff up though.
And
Because they were talking with Jacksonville about a Fournette trade.
Okay,
back in the last year's draft, they were trying to get it.
Do you know
So,
this is
no,
this
and
this is
I hope the Dolphins. I hope the Dolphins do not go after Le'Veon Bell.
I don't
bro.
want
That-
Le'Veon.
I don't want him no more. I saw enough.
Yeah, he wasn't.
I mean, he clearly has lost a step.
But he did he even touch the field in the Super Bowl?
Clearly, he's lost a step.
Buddy,
No,
he
I
was
don't want
getting
Le'Veon Bell.
outsnapped by Darrell Williams in the playoffs.
Yep.
I'll pass. Well, Leonard's out here saying, "Oh, Ronald Jones, you think you're good? Watch this."
And Reason, let me ask you this. When you look at going back to Fournette, if you look at look at the overall impact he had on that offense with him and when Jones was in there.
Oh God.
I mean, they look like a completely different offense.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I'll be honest,
he just
man,
brings-
I wouldn't mind
Go ahead,
Fournette. I wouldn't mind Fournette because if you're sitting back there with Brady, bro, you have to be able to pass block, bro. You have to, because Brady's gonna he'll ream you on national television, bro.
Look at this.
So
Look at this. Look at this, Esteban. Read the screen right now.
Tua kind of needs that.
Read the screen right now. Javonte Williams had 156 touches last year, and he broke tackles on 75 of those, courtesy of PFF.
Well, I think that's what I see on tape, man.
I would
know
say
what I mean?
that is Ricky Williams-esque.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yep. What were you going to say, Todd? Sorry?
Call him Junior, bro.
I was going to say when he was in Jacksonville, he had no choice but to block because the line couldn't hold up, and he was nonstop blocking when he wasn't running or making the catches.
Buddy, the guy was putting up 1,200 yards consistently back-to-back years, and he had a jabroni passing the football.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if he has Tua passing the football.
Fournette was at.
Could we flirt with 1,400? Just saying. And could we flirt with like 1,900 all-purpose yards? I'm just saying. Anyways, go ahead, EM. Sorry.
Yeah, Fournette is a target. Ladies and gentlemen, Fournette should be. Reason we talked about this privately. We couldn't understand when he was out there, when he was a free agent, when Jacksonville released him. We couldn't understand how the Dolphins were not able to bring him in. But those reports came out about how Brady flew to his location. Brady and other players flew to his location and met with him directly. I mean, how do you say no to the GOAT? So now it makes sense. You know what I mean? How do you say no to Tom Brady and whatnot?
I know, man.
I just want to know what Jacksonville wanted. I wish I knew what Jacksonville wanted in a trade because we should have traded when we had the chance.
They tried. Breida was the fallback plan. But I think Jacksonville was asking for a second-round pick, I think. Second-round pick, I believe, in last year's draft for him. And then they wind up cutting him, which is ridiculous. So, now
that we're into player comp lights, I keep telling people, man, and some of you up here have heard me say this. When I watch Rashad Bateman, I see OBJ light all day, all day. And you know what? That's where I'm at. I'm really, I talked to a few scouts today and a few people whose eyes I trust. I'm really torn with Jamar and Bateman at 3 because Bateman, similar elite traits at the catch point, big ass radius. You saw this year they utilized him in the slot a lot when last year he already proved he's an absolute monster on the boundary. Jamar, and I got questions with Jamar, man. I don't think he's dynamic after the catch. He comes from an offense where, let's be honest with ourselves, has anyone watched the tape of his freshman year? He was not impressive by any stretch of the imagination, okay? And then it takes Joe Burrow having a historic season, and it takes Joe Brady, who manufactures space for his receivers at a ridiculous rate, coming in. Then he has that kind of season. Then Devontae goes and tops all the numbers with freaking Mac Jones. All right. And here's my other thing. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I would be tempted to wait and take a guy like Terrace Marshall because I don't have to spend a top 10 pick on him like I would Chase. And Chase, buddy, I mean, you didn't want to show up this year. Terrace Marshall showed up and gave me DK Metcalf vibes.
Let me ask you this.
And he performed with a jabroni.
Let me ask you this, Reason. What would Chase have done if he was the Minnesota receiver with their quarterback?
Tanner Morgan. Okay, listen. Tanner Morgan regressed big time this year, and last year he wasn't even that good. If you go watch Rashad Bateman was constantly adjusting, constantly waiting on balls, and then he would take off after it. And then this year, they basically, I believe they turned over their whole coaching staff, and including the offensive coordinator. And that offense was inept. And Rashad comes back his first game back, puts up 150. I'm just sitting here and saying, like, if you sit there and you actually take in the Rashad Bateman tape, not just highlights, you see, and then again, I come down to value. I don't got to spend a top 10 pick on Bateman.
I would just
I might have to spend a top 20.
That 5'9" frame don't just give you just a little bit to pause reason.
Rashad Bateman.
Yeah.
He's not 5'9", my friend. That's Rondell Moore.
And I get them mixed up all the time, bro. My bad.
Yeah, no worries.
My bad.
Yeah, Rashad Bateman. He
Rondell Moore, exactly.
Yeah, but I can get him in a second, you know.
Right.
Which I'm fine with because I'd just be a pure slot guy. But you know, Rashad, he's what? Just a little bit over 6'1.5". And when you talk about weight, I mean, obviously we're gonna have to wait for a weigh-in, but his listed weight is 210.
Yeah.
You know, so he's got the size that it's not gonna be a problem with a release off the line. You know what I mean? And here's my thing. You know, Chase, he ran a 4.66 in high school. All right. I see Bateman in between 4.45 to about 4.5-ish.
I can imagine Bateman with Tua's accuracy, how dangerous that would be on the run.
Now, another thing I got to say is, just like Chase, we have Bateman's skill set on the team already with Preston and Devontae. So I will say that. So that's why I could see them passing and saying, you know what, whatever. But, I mean, if you guys look, most of his snaps this year were in the slot.
That's what I was going to say. When you showed me those clips on him, he was all in the slot, coming off the slot and getting open.
Yeah, on slants and stuff. And then, but if you look at his tape last year, Todd, they used him on the boundary the majority of the time.
Okay.
What about?
I thought his route running was pretty good.
Oh, that's another thing. That's another thing. And I've had this conversation with scouts. I've had this conversation with ball games. Jamar Chase is not a very good route runner. Like, he's not very good. He is, and his yak. But his route running, guys, he's like above average.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Bateman.
No, I'm talking about Jamar Chase to Bateman comparison.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Like, and Bateman, I would put in the tier of good. Like, you know, the top tier of good, just under really good with route running.
Do you think he has the long speed to warrant a number 3 overall pick?
Oh, I'm not taking any receiver at number 3 in this draft, bro.
Oh, I thought you said 3.
I'm talking about, like, if we take Penei and we don't move up from 18.
Oh, okay, I see.
You know what I mean? Or
because
you know what, I wouldn't mind trading back into the early 20s and getting Bateman there because I think you might still be able to.
Because he's a bigger body receiver, bro. He's about 208-ish, 210-ish, maybe.
Yeah, he's 210. Bateman.
Yeah, he's a bigger body guy.
He's 6'1". He's 6'1", and so he's 6.16 inches. So he's 6 feet 0.16 inches. So he's just under 6'2".
Hey,
man, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I know we don't need a tight end or anything, but I would take Pitts over Chase.
I would too. And I might even take Pitts over Rashad. Pitts is going to be a fucking game breaker.
He reminds me of a Waller.
But so is I didn't, hey, that tweet I put it up popped off a little bit. Everyone keeps sleeping on my boy Pat Freiermuth, man.
Not me. I love
him. This guy.
Yeah.
Two things. His literal name is Baby Gronk. That's his nickname.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2, he shattered, not broke, shattered every Mike Gesicki record at Penn State. Shattered them. And you want a fun watch? Just go back and watch Pat Freiermuth in the red zone. Don't even watch him in the field.
Yes.
Watch him in the red zone, bro. You want to talk about dominant? And the guy lives. He lives for run blocking, bro.
I love
He
it.
lives for it. He blows mothers up. And Pitts got better this year at run blocking. But there's a reason why they call this man Baby Gronk, because Gronk can block the hell out of shit in his prime.
Hey, so we just trade Gesicki for an early second. Pick Pat up then and pick Pitts up in the first round. We'll go with the double tight end round.
No, stop that.
They're
He
different
playing
tight
man
ends.
over there. He playing man over there.
Yeah.
He's
My
260. He's 260 as well. You know, he's very similar to Gronk. I want to see what he tests as well.
And you know what I love about him, EM? Because of the whole "what have you done for me lately?" I can get him in a second.
Yeah, that's true.
My
He
favorite thing
might
about
be
him.
there at 50. That's a realistic possibility, man.
My favorite thing about him.
And I just want to say one more thing, and then Rhino can go, and then Damien can go. Y'all got to remember, Flores comes from a spot that utilized. First of all, guys, if you have not looked it up, do you know we were in the top 5 or top 3 of 12-man personnel usage this year?
Yeah, absolutely.
And here's another one, EM. Last I checked, Flores comes from a team who no one could match up with them when they had Gronk and Aaron Hernandez.
This is true.
So hit me with the Pitts or Freiermuth paired with Gesicki, baby.
Yeah.
Because then you know what, Gesicki, I don't care about if you block anymore if I get one of those guys.
I think though, he definitely would be an upgrade for sure. I can see that, and I agree.
At
a
36.
talent like him,
At 36.
He's complete, a multi-dimensional guy. He's not one-dimensional. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I can see the intrigue, but man, I
know
just think
taking
they're
another
set.
tight end when you have Gesicki on the route, yeah.
What I love about him,
and you just re-signed Shaheen. You're high on Smart.
But doesn't this make you salivate a little bit? Because I think I think they would shift. Pitts would play a lot more boundary and slot. Like, I don't think he's going to see a lot of time in line, whereas Pat Freiermuth, I think, would be slot in line type of stuff. But doesn't this make you salivate for a sec? We saw what Gotzi did with Smythe and Shaheen. What the hell could he do with a guy like Pitts or Freiermuth, bro? Oh,
and again, this is the year to do unconventional things while you have the surplus of capital.
Agreed.
So that's an unconventional move. So
Damien, go ahead.
I agree.
Sorry.
Oh no, y'all good, because I wanted to just piggyback on what y'all said. If I'm looking at Freiermuth per se, because number one, what you brought up about the Aaron Hernandez Gronk situation, also. With Gesicki after next season going to be his last season under contract, we could possibly get him for cheap and pay him as a tight end, but he's utilized as a receiver because he doesn't have to do all the little things a tight end no more. He is our weapon. We can utilize him as a slot receiver / H-back, where we can have Freiermuth doing the block and the dirty work and the target in the red. Imagine those two in the red zone. Just imagine those two in the red zone, and we only have to
mismatch
second round
nightmare,
pick.
bro.
Mismatch nightmare. Then you have imagine with Preston, Devontae, Freiermuth, and Gesicki all in the red zone. Those big trees in the red zone. That's lethal, and we only have to spend a second round pick on Smurf.
That's the key.
That's the big key to
the value. Like EM always says, you try to find the best value with where you're picking in terms of the prospect.
And also, imagine how Tua would thrive.
Oh, I was going to say
those weapons.
I was going to piggyback off you. I was going to piggyback off you, okay? When I played, my tight ends were my best friend. This is how it was, all right? And you see that at the NFL level, especially with younger quarterbacks. Look at Mahomes. Look at Jimmy G. Tight end is your best friend. And let me ask you this, because you brought up a good point, Damien. I want to hear your thoughts, and then anyone can piggyback off of it. Is Gesicki going to want to get paid top 5, top 6 tight end?
Yes, and in that situation, we can afford.
Is he a top 5? I think we can all list 5 guys. We could probably sit here and list 5 guys that are more polished. I think he's like a top 8 guy, top 9 guy. But I think we can all sit here and list top 5 guys, and that would be my problem with paying him top 5 money.
Yep, because he's gonna want he's gonna number one, he's gonna want the money. He's gonna want. He's gonna.
But he's got to
this
keep
money.
the tips frosted
Yeah.
somehow, bro.
Yep. So at least
Ask
with
me.
this,
Ask me. Everybody ask me right now.
Go ahead,
I'm playing.
Esteban.
See you later. For
Bye,
real.
Felicia.
See you later. See you later.
I like. I'm sorry. I like Giuseppe.
Oh, I love
think he-
Giuseppe. I love him, but top 5 money at the position.
yeah. But we can get away for the next 2 years with getting his production, then not feel bad about letting him walk because we have a young guy in there with long as he doesn't bust.
Here's my thing,
his
though,
potential
Damien.
in college.
You know what my thing is, Damien? You might get such a good duo that you might actually just want to pay Gesicki. And you might say bye-bye to a guy like Devontae's contract and say, listen, I got something going here with mismatches, and I got to keep these two together. Devontae, it's easier to replace a boundary guy than an elite tight end. That's my.
And this is the key reason we're using Gesicki as a receiver when we paying him as a tight end. That is the most beautiful thing. A lot of tight ends star tight ends have a lot of issues with. Travis Kelce had an issue with that. But the issue is you're a tight end, so you're getting slotted as pay as a tight end. Even if we pay him top 2 tight end money, it's still not the same as getting paid for a slot receiver, boundary receiver. We're still coming off.
Yeah,
Damien, how's his route running, bro? Because I'm no. Fairmouth.
He's solid, buddy.
He's solid.
And listen.
And he gets just like Gesicki, he gets separation.
And this is
even though he's better
point.
than Gesicki at running around.
Well, see, this is the point that I'm making real quick. Go ahead. Look at these tight ends that these guys have in the AFC West: Patrick Mahomes and Carr, bro. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, man. Yeah, I mean that's really who we're contending with to try to get to the ship.
Even the Broncos.
Look at those guys. Look at those guys that they have.
Noah Fant isn't a slouch either.
This narrative about tight ends, this expectation that I feel a lot of our fan base are trying to put on Gesicki in terms of they're expecting this dude to be a route runner. He's a tight end for a reason. If he could run routes at an elite level, he would be a wide receiver. He's a tight end.
Well,
I think unfairly. Now, again, does Gesicki need refinement? Absolutely, just like any player. But I feel like a lot of people are holding him to a standard that's not realistic. They want
I'll tell you this, bro.
No, he's just not that guy.
I just don't think that he's the dude, bro. I just don't think he has the heart, bro.
Here's my thing.
I don't think he has the heart.
I don't know.
No. I don't think he has the heart that I see from these other tight ends, bro. Like straight up, bro. I don't see Kelsey. I don't see Kittle. I don't see that he's those guys, bro. When it comes to heart,
what does he put on tape from a heart standpoint makes you think he's not the guy? He's not on the level.
Drop passes. I mean, at critical times.
Man, oh my God, bro! Come on, man! Stop.
You must think
that.
Jakeem Grant has the blackest heart of any NFL player in the world.
Man, come on, man!
No.
I won't argue the heart thing, but here's where I'm at, and this is, I learned, the All-22 says it all. He's an average route runner, but sometimes he's downright horrid, and that's my issue. I give him the average overall, but sometimes he's horrid. And I will say this: Kelsey, Waller, Kittle, they're fucking damn good route runners, man. They're no slouch with that shit.
But
they're clutch. They're clutch reason. That's what I don't like about Gesicki. He ain't clutch.
But if you look at Waller, Kelsey, maybe I wouldn't put. Excuse me. I'm sorry. God dang it, this Corona's talking, bro. Sorry. But I wouldn't put Kittle in terms of I wouldn't put Kittle in terms of route running in the category with Kelsey and Waller. If you look at Waller, they're different athletes. Gesicki is 260, 255, 260. Other guys are smaller players, smaller, shiftier guys. But again, Kelsey needs refinement. I agree, Reason. But the dude is giving you top 5 tight end productivity I mean, and people are trying to highlight this kid's deficiencies. I'm like, come on, man.
No, I say no. Here's my okay. Well, this is my frustration. I would put him in the top 8, but here's my thing, EM. If you're not going to get better at run blocking, refine your pat. Like,
I agree.
Refine, because here's the thing. 100%. The frustrating thing is the guy's fucking elite at the catch point, and his radius is crazy.
He's ridiculous.
And I think he's dynamic as shit once the ball's in his hands. If you get that route running down, you are going to be a top 5 tight end. It's all there in your hands, Gesicki. Just go out and grab the brass ring. That's all I'm saying. Stop worrying about running through fucking garages and frost tipping your hair, and go out there. And if you get that route running down, if you become a good route runner, I don't need you to be great. You become a good, consistent route runner, you will be top 5, and I will be the first one in line saying, pay this man top 5 money right now.
I just think in terms of, I just think his upside, his ceiling is ridiculous.
And that's what's frustrating, because he won't reach that unless he refines it.
But
and we're running out of time. He's getting into his mid-20s. When's it gonna happen?
Well, I mean, some guys don't catch fire until the mid-20s. You know what I mean? So,
I'm praying, because I love that guy, man.
Yeah.
You want me to go out on a limb? I think he was our best weapon last year, and I think Chan Gailey underutilized the shit out of him when Tua was in the game. You know, I know you weren't watching, EM. If you watch, you know how fucking pissed off I was when I see Tua come out of the Raiders game, and all of a sudden, they only did it once with Tua in there. All of a sudden, let's expose Raekwon McMillan with Gesicki. Why? Yo, dude. How many? Not many. This is that. What that? Okay, listen. On that triple coverage catch against Kansas City for the touchdown, buddy, that's a top 3, top 5 tight end in the league play.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Oh, absolutely.
Hands down, okay?
Absolutely.
No one's going to tell me different than that. And that was probably the highlight of the year for Tua.
I agree.
You know, and
that
I'm
was
just
cool.
saying, he can be that more consistently. He can be that, not do it. You can be that. And when he does that, when he takes that leap, pay the fucking man whatever he wants. That's all I'll say.
Can I say something? I'm just reading when to just be transparent and honest, man. I read too much into the whole when there was the announcement of Tua being the quarterback and Gesicki's support for Fitzpatrick, bro. I mean, just plain and simple, bro. Like that. I just look. Anytime I was told by a guy that is a mentor to me, anytime you want to understand something, look at the beginning and the end, bro. And so that was the beginning of what I saw from Gesicki as far as like who he was. And so that's why, I mean, I'm just saying, man.
But to his credit, by the end of the season, if you go on Instagram and everything, he's all aboard the Tua train.
I don't know if I believe it though, man, because of that day, man.
Well,
you know when I think it changed? It changed when Tua made that throw to him in the Kansas City game.
And people change, man. They could be. I'm just saying.
Hey,
that day.
I mean, we can all agree he was Fitz's favorite target, but Fitz ain't making no throw in triple coverage to Gesicki that, bro.
I mean, the balls.
That's true.
Hey, reason. I mean, the balls didn't even think about attempting a throw like that, bro, for Tua. Oh
right
my God.
through Thornhill's hands, bro. Right through his hands, and Gesicki just goes, "Thank you."
The balls to even attempt that is.
So sexy.
But
EM, Tua didn't flash, bro.
I know, right? And I agree 100%. Yeah, he didn't flash. He did.
Oh my God.
Hey, Damien.
Yo.
There was a article I read the other day that Miami's interested in a tight end next year to replace him, and he comes out of Iowa or Iowa State.
Charlie Kohler.
Yeah.
Reason know how much Reason knows what I think about
next year has a pretty stacked tight end class too, eh?
Yeah. Reason knows how I feel
Four
about
guys. There's
that
like
kid.
4 guys. Like this class, I only like 5 guys. I like Tremble. I like Hunter Long. I like Brevin Jordan, Freiermuth, and Kyle Pitts. And then after that, it's nosedive city, bro.
Well, this would be the year to pass. I mean, because in this draft, I'm not even looking at tight end, to be honest. I'm looking at everything else but tight end. I don't know about y'all, but that's where
So you
I'm
know
at.
what the good thing about making a pick like that would be? Like if a Freiermuth falls to you at like 50, you're getting ahead of the tight end problem if you get to a financial standstill with Gesicki.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to be
gonna want
lost.
money.
Like,
You don't
look at
have
what
to
KC did, right? Mitchell Schwartz still had a year on his still has another year on his contract, and they drafted Lucas Niang this year, and y'all know how high I was on that kid. And they drafted Lucas Niang to be his replacement already. So that's what good teams do. I tell all y'all.
This is
Because
true.
you gotta start paying people, right? So here's the issue. That comes down to drafting, knowing which guy, okay, I'll pay this guy, but I don't pay this guy, and I get his replacement. You got to be a couple of years ahead with your drafting at certain positions to stay consistent, and if you get to that contender level, in my opinion, at least.
I think, though, if the Dolphins do, go that route, if they opt to select a tight end, I think Gesicki immediately goes on the block.
You think so, eh?
Oh, yeah, especially in the top, either the first round or second round. Oh, yeah, he on the block, for sure. So
Did you read Cameron Wolfe's article today, EM?
I didn't, bro.
Okay, so I want to read this to you. I brought it up earlier, but you guys have joined. I want to hear your thoughts on this. So the first part of it, he's talking about how the Deshaun Watson chatter is not going to go away, basically because of its rumor season or whatever. But then he says this, man, and it's and we all know Cameron Wolfe had that article where he interviewed Flores, right? And Flores was basically, vehemently stating Tua's the quarterback, right? So I'm just going to read this to you, and I want to hear your thoughts. I'm going to read these first 3 paragraphs. This trend of casting final judgments on quarterbacks after one season, or in Tagovailoa's case, 9 starts, it's disappointing at best and foolish at worst. As veteran quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick told ESPN last week, the Dolphins drafted Tagovailoa into top 5 last season because he has a rare skill set, and Miami believed he would be the QB to lead it to a championship. Significant offseason decisions behind the scenes have already been made with Tagovailoa in mind. Multiple people within the Dolphins organization told ESPN. Decisions we're aware of include Charlie Fry's hiring as the Dolphins quarterback coach, and EM, we talked about this privately. I said this is the biggest hiring. Don't look at the offensive coordinator decision. This is the one. And the co-offensive coordinator promotion of George Godsey and Eric Studesville. Obviously, familiarity, terminology doesn't change. And, I've talked about this. You can have the same play in a different playbook, but the terminology is completely foreign to each other, right? That's just how it works. And then he goes on to say the Dolphins have committed to Tagovailoa's long-term development. Miami staff believes many of Tagovailoa's rookie struggles are fixable with a full offseason with more reps. I mean, where have you guys been hearing that from me and EM? I don't know. And the Dolphins are aiming to get explosive playmakers around him and banking on good chemistry with Godsey and Studesville. I mean, they believe he'd be the quarterback to lead him to the championship. They're committed to his long-term development. What more evidence do people need here, EM?
I would agree. You know what? I did see that. I did read that. I'm sorry, Reason. I did read that.
No worries.
Earlier, but here again. So I'm going to be maintain my consistency with this Tua, Deshaun Watson narrative. I'm 50-50. Either route, the Dolphins, in my opinion, are in a very good situation. Nobody drives that Tua train more than Reason and EM. That's just fact. I still believe in this kid's upside. I believe in this kid's trajectory. I believe in his skill set, et cetera, et cetera. However, Tua, and man, he hit the nail on the head. What have we both been saying? Making a 10-year projection off a 9-game window is irresponsible. Is just flat out buffoonish. I've been saying that since day one. But at the end of the day, this is a business. Okay? In that 9-game window, for whatever reason, We know there's plenty of blame to be assigned all across the board. At the end of the day, in my opinion, Tua did not put on tape enough to ignore a talent the caliber of this kid being 25 years old. He just did not. And again, at the end of the day, this is a business. The NFL is a business.
Mm-hmm.
As much as we all love Tua, as much as we all love his projection, his upside, his ceiling. But at the end of the day, Tua is still a project. Deshaun Watson is a proven commodity. And again, if the Dolphins are having this conversation internally, you can't blame them if they do.
You got to add context for the haters too. Guys, EM would only do this if the price is right and we win the trade. All right.
Exactly.
EM's not selling the farm. Okay. So don't even go there.
So at the end of the day, the Dolphins are in good hands, but again, that's going to be a hefty bill to pay, if they do entertain trading for Watson. So, but I believe in Tua. The smart play, I think at the end of the day, when you look at things, consider everything, the smart play might, that's tough. I could see both arguments again, but at the end of the day, if they opt to stick with Tua, you all know what time it is with me and with this kid. So, but the offseason moves they made, it's they're putting it out there for us all. They're signaling that they're going all in on Tua's development, and you can't blame them. Tua is Tua's ability, like Fitzpatrick highlighted in this article. He has a rare Brady-esque. Me and Esteban talked about this privately. He has those Brady-esque qualities. You just have to get the offensive approach. You have to get the offensive personnel. And I think we will ultimately see Brady-like results. Maybe not in terms of Super Bowls, but I'm talking about in terms of production relative to that position.
Did you watch Trevor Lawrence's pro day?
Bits and pieces.
Did you see him in the red zone?
Yeah, I did, bro. I did. And I saw your tweet. I liked your tweet.
You're telling me that wouldn't worry you, bro?
I told you. We've talked about this privately, Reese. I'm not I believe in Trevor Lawrence from an athletic profile standpoint. He checks all the boxes. But within the pocket, his skill set that, now I'm not saying he can't come to the league and you can have a level of success with him early because he's a big time athlete. But this is where I put Tua so much higher in terms of their individual skill set from the neck up. I think there's a lot of refinement that needs to be done with Trevor Lawrence in terms of his mechanical base, the consistency in his mechanical base, and just his vision. I don't think it's on the same level as Tua coming out. And I love Trevor Lawrence. He's got a high ceiling because of the immense athleticism. But again, he weighed in. He's 6'6", but 213. He's 213, bro. He's a pencil out there running. He's not, and you compare him to Herbert. Herbert is 255, bro.
213?
Yeah, that's what he weighed in at.
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah. 213.
Yeah.
So Herbert again. Now, if you want to talk about generational athletes, it's starting to look like Herbert was more the projection as opposed to Trevor Lawrence from a height, weight, speed perspective. Mm-hmm. So I don't dislike Trevor Lawrence, but I just think Tua, in my opinion, for the offensive approach that this staff wants to implement, I think Tua is a better fit because I think he's more refined within the pocket than what Trevor Lawrence is, and maybe than what Trevor Lawrence will ever be, in my opinion.
EM, is it fair to say that if Tua would have gone back to Bama this year, he would have won the Heisman? He would have won another national championship, which would have been 2. And the worst finish he ever would have had is a national championship loss. While Trevor Lawrence has gotten worse and worse in the playoffs year by year. Is it a fair projection that if Tua would have went back this year, he would have went number 1 this year?
Well, I would have picked him number 1, but unfortunately, bro, these GMs and owners are they're all about that. They're all about that profile, bro, and he fits it. He fits it. So Tua might not have won one, but I think Tua would have been obviously the better player in my opinion. So it's what it is, man. But not to knock Trevor Lawrence, nothing but respect for what he achieved while he was at Clemson. But I just think, Tua everything that gives you that's sustainable success. You look at your Brady's, you look at Manning, you look at Drew Brees. It's not elite athleticism is what wins at that relative to that position at the next level. It's not the neck down, it's the neck up. And Tua just exhibits all of those qualities. And again, Brian Flores had a 15-year front row seat watching Brady, game planning against Brady every single day in practice, and he knows what it takes, what qualities the quarterbacks need to be a winner and be a long-term winner. And Tua exhibits a lot of those qualities, in my opinion.
And guys, I know everyone's wilding out in the comments right now because they talked about, I believe he's getting his labrum and his left arm repaired. He's having surgery, and so they're talking. No, Trevor Lawrence. And
okay.
So he can't lift. But here's my thing: what, you're gonna lose 20 pounds?
What the hell?
I don't understand that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can still bulk up with eating and stuff like that, and you can still like work out everything except your shoulders.
It's a lot of weight to lose.
Where are we going here? He's lost 20 pounds because of a left shoulder injury. That's not even his throwing arm. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know, man. Like, I lost 30 pounds, but that's because I was
sick,
vomiting violently for like a week.
He's not sick.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'm buying that narrative. But here's a good one. How do you guys feel about Orlando Brown and a potential trade for him? You've talked about it passionately with me before, so lead off, brother.
Orlando Brown, a player. Okay, I wasn't high on him coming out the year he came out, obviously because of the weight issues. But he proved to be a very productive right tackle for Baltimore, bro. So with that being said, the reason why he's wanting out of Baltimore is because he wants to play left tackle. I do have question marks in terms of his athleticism playing the left tackle position, but if you could convince him somehow to stay at right tackle, okay, I would definitely entertain a trade, because he comes from that, he fits that power profile that that Flores seems to be enamored with. He comes from that RPO play action based scheme from Baltimore. That seems to be the approach that the Dolphins, offensive approach that the Dolphins seem to be trying to consistently implement. So he checks that box. So with that being said, if he wants to, because I just believe in Austin Jackson's upside. His athleticism is off the charts as well.
He's just got to hit the weight room. That's all he's got
Exactly. He just got to get stronger in his base, and he'll be fine. But
it's not Robert Hunt. Okay, he can play tackle and he can move laterally.
Right.
And he's on the young side, right? To an extent, he's on the young side.
Yeah, he's 24. He's 24.
Oh, we're talking about Orlando Brown. Yeah, Orlando's.
Yeah.
He's also 6'8", 355. Woo,
and
baby.
Can you imagine? The right side of that line in the run game?
Oh
my God! So I would entertain it
with Hunt next to him.
Yeah. Exactly. So I would definitely entertain that. But it's just two questions.
Never mind opening holes. We're parting seas with that.
I know, right? It's just two questions. Reason. That's what it boils down to. Well, are you willing to stay at right tackle? And what is it going to cost to get him here?
And that's what let's follow up. I'm gonna follow up with you, EM, in a sec. Damien, I want to get your thoughts on Orlando Brown.
Young players, still isn't even 25 yet, and the convincing him to play right tackle. And this might be a dangerous way of doing it, but this is the way I can probably see them getting him in there. Is that okay? You're gonna get paid as a left tackle because the blind side you're protecting is on the right side.
That's a good point.
That right there, you're actually playing left tackle. Point. You're slotted in the same position as playing left tackle because you're protecting our quarterback's blind side. If we were able to pull that trade off, it would depend on the capital. As long as it's not giving up no first round pick, or I would even be because the player is so young. I wouldn't have a problem if we're going to go for broke, if you want draft capital next year. And Baltimore being that type of team, I could see them probably doing that.
So what would you do? Okay, so let's get into this. I'm going to ask EM. I'll start with you, and then EM can lead up off to this. Okay, so what are you doing in terms of capital? Would you be okay with giving a second or third this year and then a higher pick next year?
I would be okay with giving them a third and a first next year because we're getting a 24-year-old tackle. That way, we can attack every need in the first round this year and won't feel guilty about doing it because we got the most important position taken care of. And Baltimore
Damien,
would take that.
Like I've said, if you want to move up and you got to use that first for a receiver or whatever the case may be, we're all expecting about 12 wins.
Yeah.
Last I checked, that's going to be like a 26-27.
Yeah.
That's a glorified second rounder. So yeah, what's your, what would be your max offer for a guy like Orlando Brown?
I would offer up that 36 pick to them this year. I would tell them again, if he's willing to stay up, that's a good point, Damien. If he's willing to stay on the right side and protect to his blind side, and we pay him somewhat like a left tackle, if he's okay with that, I would dangle that 36 pick to them.
Would you rather pay him over Moten?
That's my point.
That's a good question.
I'd rather go Moten if I'm going to pay someone.
Well, I think Moten is a better athlete.
And there's no draft picks also involved.
Well, that is true. Good point.
I have a better scenario too.
But man, I would go. I would lean to. I have to agree with Rhino. I would rather go Moten because you don't have to give up draft capital.
Samuels, Fournette, Sewell, Waddle, peace guys. I'm out.
Yeah.
Esteban, Gridiron. What are your guys' thoughts on Orlando Brown? And same question: what would be the capital you give up? And would you take Moten, or who would you rather pay? A guy like Moten $15 million, or go and pay Orlando left tackle money? Esteban, you go first. Gridiron, you can go second.
I'm gonna go Moten because you could always address a right tackle later on. In a year or two, and you fill more holes. So that's the way to go, in my opinion.
I guess. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
No, that's cool. I guess I'd go Moten. Because like Rhino said, you don't have to give up any draft capital. But in terms of what I'm giving them, I don't know if I want to give them 36. Because if we're getting Orlando Brown, are we still drafting Sewell? And if not, then
no, you wouldn't.
No, we're not.
Yeah. No.
Then, unless they're going to move him to guard, but why?
Then I would say
why draft him there?
You don't draft guards at
36
3
for Javonte Williams.
Yeah,
this is
say the 36. I would give him 50. I think it's not that much of a difference, or even like give him like a third and Jesse Davis.
See, but we gotta realize, okay, Baltimore is in win now mode. We have a 24-year-old tackle that's coming off a Pro Bowl year. Now, the thing is, with Mo, right now we can still get Brown for cheaper, and also, I mean, this might sound dicey. I don't know if anybody agree with this. If you want to keep the draft capital, you can. What's the position that Baltimore is deprived of?
Wide receiver.
Oh, exactly. And
Quarterback.
They were willing to trade a player for a player. We have a player.
Are you going to suggest Devontae?
I would say this, that if we were to trade DVP, injury-riddled DVP, if we were to trade him, we have all this capital in draft. We could get our players in the draft and still get a Curtis Samuel or something in free agency. We were all focusing on building up this receiving core and not signing Devontae back anyway. Why not get the protect to his blind side if we don't go with Penei? I'm all for Penei first. But if we were to take this route, that way we get rid of Devontae's contract. We get rid of Devontae. We don't have to worry about the injury-riddled thing. We still have a young receiver that fits his profile in Preston Williams, who Tua has a chemistry with. And we can go up and get our guys in the draft and still get a Curtis Samuel in free agency. And we have a 24-year-old tackle coming off a Pro Bowl season.
And you reunite DVP with Lamar.
Yeah.
Well, this is
his guy
my
for
thing,
Louisville.
Damien.
That's his guy.
Can I respond to
Because
that?
we can't plug in a right tackle position because that is our left tackle. The right tackle position is our left tackle. That's our blind side. We have to nail this year.
Yeah, but there are other
Damien,
options though.
that scares me, bro.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest, with the rookie quarterback, because it's okay. I'd compare it to like when the Steelers had Antonio Brown, and then you had Juju popping off, and so when Antonio started acting all stupid, and then went through all the drama, they still had Juju. But the fact of the matter was, Juju was consistent. We didn't get that out of anybody else but Preston. That's what would concern me with a young quarterback like that. You want to make sure that something's remains consistent, bro. You know what I mean? And I just didn't. You know, we just don't have that because Preston's just, and it's just a health reason. You know what I mean? That's all it is.
Well, I look at it like this. I think the benefits that Orlando brings in the run game would somewhat offset the veteran presence of Devontae Parker somewhat. I mean, I'm not all for, I got to somewhat offer a little pushback at Damien. I'm not eager to get rid of Devontae Parker. Right. I think Devontae, we all know how I feel about him, the player when he's on the field, actually, when he's healthy. But I think if that does happen, the benefits that Orlando will bring in terms of the run game, Tua can more lean on the run game for him, would take pressure off him, and that'll offset some of the presence of a veteran receiver like the reliability of a Devontae Parker, I think.
And also look at this. Player for player, now we can just go best player available in every slot of the draft.
You just want Smith at 3. You just want Smith at 3.
No, I'd rather have Penei, but I'm just saying we can still address in free agency, whether it's a Curtis Samuel or whoever, and we can still take best of player available, or we can package picks and move up.
I'll tell y'all this. Go ahead, finish your thought.
No, that's all I was saying. We could really call our own shot by doing that.
Samuel Fournette, Sewell.
I'll tell you this, okay? If we made a move for Orlando Brown or Moton, I'm trading back from 3.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
To me, Penei's the option at 3, and behind that, and I'm not comfortable with.
Bro, you know that sets up moving back up to what your back end of your draft, so you can make sure you get that 0 tech, and you can get another line. You can get more linemen, bro. Whatever you want, center. You want another run.
By that scenario that I put up there, you can do all those things. You can fill your whole roster with starters. Not just for depth, but with starters. Like, imagine if you could pick up 2 more picks, high top 50 picks. Imagine you can do that. If we have 6 top 50 picks, imagine us hitting on 3 to 4. We're set. All because giving up DVP, who can't stay healthy. And we got the tackle.
But is anyone going to pay that much for DVP?
I can tell you that.
Well, Baltimore, his familiarity with that player, they both played in Louisville. And
but they know what we know. But they know what we know. He only plays.
But they don't have nothing even close to DVP.
Hey, you gotta give him props. Last year he fought through it, and he was at about, I think, like 70%, and he still was about 247 yards away from 1,000.
From 1,000, bro. Yeah. Put some respect on that man's name, Damien. Put some respect on the man's name.
I love him.
But I gotta give Damien kudos. I gotta give Damien kudos. That's a damn fine scenario that could probably get it done.
You know why? Yeah, I'm telling you,
you package DVP with a pick, and it would probably get it.
The
30. Yeah, like the 50th or the 36th, and you probably get that done.
I see Damien. Damien's all up in that draft, man. I know he's doing those mocks and I know he's pondering scenarios, bro. I get you, bro. He's got it down.
I don't want to move off. I don't think about that. I don't want to move off of Devontae. Not this year. I think
me either, bro.
I think Devontae Parker's gonna have a monster year this year.
You know why? You know why, EM? It's a money year for him. It's a money year.
And when we got into the scuffle with the Bengals,
that always scares me, man.
You know what I mean? The scuffle with the Bengals, bro. You know what I mean? He's a dog, man.
Here's the other thing we gotta ask ourselves. Here's the other thing we gotta ask ourselves: if Preston comes back fully healthy,
He should.
I mean, we could all make the argument that he had just as good, potentially better chemistry with Tua.
Yes.
Now I'll give credit. I'll
DVP
give credit with DVP and Tua. They were on point with drawing flags with each other, and I love to see that.
I think with the expectations, the expectations are here. They're staring us right in the face.
Yep.
It's
I don't know,
playoffs
man.
No. Make no mistake about it. It is playoffs or bust.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
I think Devontae-
And Flores did it to himself, bro.
Yes, he
I
did.
think-
No, I was addressing
I think-
what Reason was saying about DVP and Preston, man. Like the potential of the chemistry between Tua and Preston, or DVP, because like even in tough games, man, just the way he made it look so easy. Some of those passes to for a rookie, to DVP, man. I mean. Bro, like I just feel like I'm like the only person that talks about that. To me, I was like, man, my jaw was dropped, because I've been a Dolphin fan for so long and I've never seen that. And so my only thing is like, I don't know, what do these guys need to do, Preston and DVP, like to
Stay healthy.
train smarter? I mean, like, how do they train smarter? Like, what do they need to do?
DVP has 70% more
Maybe
handspring than a human being.
Maybe they should go work out with Jakeem Grant, because it's the one thing he knows how to do.
Yeah, they can switch, like, give Jakeem Grant's
Like,
workout ethic to them, and then they give Jakeem their hands or something.
But Parker, man, I'm telling you, how many tough catches have we seen Parker make over the middle in traffic?
Yep.
In traffic, taking monster hits and coming down, shaking it
I want a
off,
top 5
making the
receiver in
play.
the league, man.
and that's
on,
from Fitz.
I want a top 5
He
receiver.
is.
Huh?
And that's coming from two quarterbacks this year, bro.
EM, you know better, homie. Stop it. You know better, man.
Hey, Devontae Parker, when he is healthy, Devontae Parker is a
There we go.
top 5 wide receiver in this league.
Wow.
I'm telling you straight up.
I don't know about
Straight
that,
up.
EM. It was
Straight
healthy.
up.
Damien, you
Straight
can't.
up.
He was putting A1 bolt sauce all over that bitch.
I hope he's right, though. I hope the homie's right,
Straight
man,
up.
but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I could give you top 5.
I'll give you top 8.
Man, so off the sheet. Okay, if you go back, to
2 years ago.
2019.
Yeah.
Go back to 2019, the year he had, in particular, the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Considering the cornerbacks that he just absolutely made, just absolutely dominated.
That is
To have the season, 14 touchdowns, 1,200 yards.
He owned
70
Gilmore.
Bro, he killed everybody. Tre'Davious White, Stephon Gilmore, Josh Norman. Who else? Who else you want to bring up?
Okay, well,
he's a matchup.
I need them to do it when the money's on the line,
my
man.
thing- hold on a sec.
Damn,
Mike,
dude, I forgot
hold on a
about what
sec, hold on a
Ian's talking
sec.
about.
Yeah, but here's the
Bro.
you know why you forgot about it? I'm about to tell you why. Okay, here's the issue. To be top 5 in the NFL, consistency is right up there.
I hear you.
And if you would have
That's a
given me
good point.
if you would have gave me 3 years of that, I wouldn't argue you.
It took a year and a half.
That's why I said win health. I prefaced everything win health.
With healthy, yeah.
It took
That's
a
what
year and a
Michael
half.
Thomas said about him. Like, come on, dude. You just
But Michael
did this
Thomas
last-
Michael Thomas is one of the most overrated guys
yeah.
in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
It's
I
the-
talk about
Consistent with
Jamar.
him.
I talk about Jamar Chase with the manufactured space. Michael
yeah.
Thomas is the NFL version of that,
He,
bro.
he's a king. He's a
100%
king.
agree with you. 100%
He's a
agree
king.
with
And you know what?
100%.
I'll go this higher. He's not better than DVP at the catch point, and his radius isn't DVP either. DVP makes a lot harder catches and takes a lot more contact at the catch point. And he'll either
Agreed.
make the catch and make you look silly, or he'll draw the flag. And going back to 2019 with what EM was saying, show me where Michael Thomas took Stephon Gilmore to town, who won Defensive Player of the Year.
Mhm.
And
Agreed.
guess what?
Mhm.
DVP was beating him on the
Mhm.
boundary, in the
Mhm.
slot. Where do
Yep.
you want it right now? Slant, digs.
Yep.
Where do you want it right now, Stephon?
Mhm.
I can give it to you. You beat him on a go route. for a touchdown. He just adjusted back, shoulder came down, then took it to the house. Show me where Michael Thomas can do that shit. He can't, bro.
I agree.
I agree with that.
And I will say, EM,
10%.
when DVP is 110%, hands down, him and Thomas aren't even close, bro.
I agree.
Sorry, bro.
I agree.
And that motherfucker needed Drew Brees.
Guys, can I just bring this up? When they signed him to the contract, the last one they just signed him to, I think the majority reaction was, what are they thinking about? Okay, honestly, okay? Because he was coming off the injury after injury after injury. So what he did after that is very impressive. But we just can't ignore the big, gigantic gorilla in the room. You know?
I understand. I agree with that. I agree 100%, Rhino.
Yeah,
that is a big if. But the ability's there. The ability. You'd be hard-pressed. If you trade Devontae Parker, you would be hard-pressed to find a player with that type of profile. I mean,
I don't know, y'all. I get
the NFL.
I think Damien's going to say what I just said. What I was going to say.
Tannehill, we waited for 7 years of potential. It's always, when is he healthy? When is he healthy? When is he healthy?
Yeah, but here's the thing. okay?
If this was the quarterback position, it's one thing I just want to say, Reason. If this was the quarterback position, and Tua goes out there and can't stay consistently on the field, or still inconsistent going into the year after that, we're looking at drafting another quarterback.
But that's different, though. At the
end of the day, this league, though, EM, is pass happy. Receiver is a very important, intricate part, just like the comparison of a running back in the 80s and 90s. This has to be addressed. If he cannot stay healthy, it's not our fault. I mean, it isn't. We can't just keep
I agree.
Go get him.
I agree, but man, bro, I just think
I know he's talented as hell.
Bro, him and Preston Williams, from a physical profile standpoint, you name me what team has two dominant alpha dogs, again, physically, that could surpass the dog, Parker and Williams on the boundary.
Nobody, because both of them don't even stay healthy, so we don't even see it for 16 games.
Here's the thing.
But I'm saying from a physical standpoint, bro. And the NFL is all about physical matchups. Period. So both of them. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Reese.
No, go ahead. You finish your thought.
No, I was just gonna say, bro, that they've proven, both of them. Y'all want to say their durability concerns? I understand that, but they have proven when they are on the field, bro, they can make big time plays consistently. So that's just to say, well, look, dude, we're gonna trade you, we're gonna just disregard you, cut you, release you, whatever, bro. Where you gonna find that kind of production or that type of ability? They don't grow on trees.
Atlanta.
They don't grow on trees. What's that?
Ronnie just brought it up in the chat. The Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, well, one team.
I totally forgot.
One team.
Evan Ridley's more of a slot guy. I don't think he's.
And here's my thing for a sec.
Yeah. Ridley's not a physical freak.
Here's my thing. The reason why they gave this guy 7 years, okay? You got to remember, in 2014 he put up over 4,000 yards. In 2015 he put up 4,200 yards. Right, and then what? And his second
completion percentage was going up too.
Yeah, and exactly. And he broke the consecutive completions in a game, and some of it was Dinkin and Duncan, then Dan Marino. But here's the other thing: his second year, he put up 30. He was only what was it, like 87 yards away from 4,000 as well.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until the injuries started stacking up, right, in 2016 and 2017, and then they came back 2018, and you didn't get that great of a season in 11 starts.
Gase pooped the bed.
You know what I mean? So that's why. Because if you look at the first 4 years of Ryan Tannehill, it deemed further investment.
I agree. Parker, even with his durability issues, we've seen him routinely make, from the day he got we drafted him, and the day he stepped on a Miami Dolphin football field, he has put on display that he can make big play after big play after big play. His career has been a highlight film. It's just we just don't have the consistency yet.
I don't know why we want to get rid of him because the money he's being paid is not a lot.
Exactly. He's cheap.
I'd rather just keep him and hope he has a money year.
Yeah.
I wanted to answer this on the because Jonathan Elliott, guys, go check out Finn's line on Instagram. He does great stuff. He says, "Do you think Tooney deserves some consideration in free agency? I think last year was a year for Tooney, guys. We got Kinley and you can kick Hunt in. We can't get rid of Eric Flowers this year because of his dead cap. Eric Flowers is the reason why they won't give Joe Tooney real consideration because you're gonna have to pay him." Like, what if Eric Flowers is making 10.5? What do you think Tooney, one of the best left guards in the game, is going to make? That's all I'm going to leave that one at. Guys, we're hitting the 2-hour mark. I want to go spend some time with my wife. So let's go through final thoughts. Rhino, we'll start with you.
I just want to say happy almost Valentine's Day to everyone. I want to also say that March 15th is the official day that they can start tampering. Just so everyone knows, not March 17th. March 17th is when they can officially sign, but March 15th, they can start tampering with talking to every team. So we might get a lot of movement on that day. And thanks for doing the show. Reason this was a nice surprise and a good idea. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Damien, let's get your final thoughts.
First of all, man, great show, Reason. Great show, EM. I mean,
same here, homie.
I'm happy, man. It's back to how it's supposed to be. Esther, Rhino, everybody, man. Everybody in the comments, man. Great. And I just want to say, I hope I'm wrong about DVP. I want to be wrong when it comes to things like that because that means my team is winning.
Damien, we're going to have to talk about that. We're going to have to carry that conversation on Friday, bro. I got to get at you on that one, homie. But go ahead.
No, I want to be wrong. I don't mind eating crow when it comes to my Dolphins still succeed. So I totally want to be wrong about that. I want the best one. I want us to have that top 5 receiver. I know DVP can be that, but I'm tired of just banking on potential and what could be and should be. I just want it to happen. That's for everything, with Dolphins, so fans up and great show. That's all I got, man.
Serge, let's get your final thoughts, brother.
Yeah, man. Kind of torn with the whole, what's his name, Orlando Brown?
Yeah,
Orlando Brown. Tackle. Whether we should trade or not for him, but I have full faith in the organization. And just to touch on the Trevor Lawrence thing, I feel like he is definitely overhyped, and he isn't gonna be like, let's compare him like Justin Herbert, how the year he had, just because I feel like a lot of it is gonna be very dependent on what the Jags decide to do. But I feel like if he gets put in the right scenario, he will succeed and he will be a good quarterback. And those are kind of just my final thoughts. Fins up.
All right, Esteban, let's hear your final thoughts, buddy.
Man, that was a great idea for the show. I've always felt as a Dolphins fan that always bugged me. That Brewski was Zach Thomas' backup, and then won a championship and came back and rubbed it in Zach Thomas's face, man. So the idea for the show and to be able to express that feeling, I know there's Dolphin fans out there that might have experienced the same thing that I did. I've never got over that, man. It's heartbreaking and it pisses me off. So that's where I'm at. Appreciate it though.
No worries. EM, let's get your final thoughts, buddy.
Yeah, bro, man. Awesome show. Always a pleasure to be up here with like-minded individuals, talk passionately about our team. Shout out to everybody in the comments. It's always showing up consistently because y'all already know what type of content Reason puts out consistently. So at the end of the day, but yeah, bro, we just anxious to get the off season rolling. As we move towards the combine, I hope they get things finalized relatively quickly. What where the combine is going to be and what is going to be expected. So once they finalize that and we can get a date hammered down and we can start getting hyped up for the combine or whatnot, and then free agency obviously and obviously the draft. So just looking forward to the off season, bro. And as always, y'all already know what it is. Fins up every day, baby.
Yes, sir.
Every day.
Guys, there's still 120 of you. in the room right now, smash that like button, subscribe. If you're new, if you'd like to donate, obviously you can do it through the super chat. And then you can hit paypal.me/Finside. Obviously, we got the Patreon, $2.
Love you too, homie. Love you too, homie.
$10, $15, and $20 level. And as always, shout out to all our Patreons: Infinite Trauma, rHinosYth, Big Spike 94, KL, Day, Ramon Casillas, Slim Pickens, Big Time, Red Dino, Marinos, Goat. Y'all already know what time it is. Keith Davis, your boy Trev, Josh, Tranquilize, Jazz at 803. Of course, the homie Martin. Didn't see it tonight, homie. Hope all's well. Joe B, Zoe Vegas 75, Cap for Life, and the Arkham Elf. Appreciate every single one of you guys. And again, that equalizer, that 2 equalizer, that shirt, that hoodie, that's up on the official Finside the NFL merch, teespring.com/stores/Finside the NFL. And I told you it was coming. Here it is. Patchvibes.com. Use code FINSIDE and get 20% off of your purchase. Store-wide, all items fall under that code. Go check them out. They have jersey patches that are out now that are pretty cool. So go check them out. And guys, I will be back Monday or Tuesday night. We're going to have Neil Driscoll on next week, and I'm also working on some other stuff. Hopefully I can have an announcement. And I got to double check with Neil what night he is, because it's looking like on Wednesday, either Wednesday or Thursday, guys. I'm just going to hammer down the date with Richmond and Ball Game. The 20th episode of The Finish Line will be live on YouTube, and then I will lift the audio and put it up on Spotify and iTunes. So we're going to do a live episode of The Finish Line with me, Richmond, and Ball Game right here on Finside the NFL. So you're not going to want to miss that one, guys. All right. So that'll be coming this week. And also my wide receiver big board is coming this week as we get into big board season, baby. And I know I'm going to stir the pot with my Chase takes, but all I'm going to say is hear me out. All right. So guys, we'll be back this week. Y'all already know what time it is. EM already laid it out. Fins up all day, every day. Hope y'all stay happy, healthy, safe, and blessed, and have a good Valentine's Day. Take care of yourself.
Be safe out there, everybody.